This is Caitlin, your host of the NoSleep4Dramas Podcast, where we get no sleep and survive on coffee to watch just one more episode at night. And we are back. We are so back. Yes, I'm so glad to be recording this episode. I missed recording it in August. We are back and we are recording a My Watchlist episode for September. I was so sad when I could not make one of these for August because I was trying to empty my current watch list. But here we are, September. I emptied my current watch list. I have all new dramas and all new animes on my watch list. So I can't wait to talk about these. I'm excited to talk about these. I am so excited to be back doing a My Watch List episode. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I hope you guys enjoy these watch list episodes in general on the podcast. So I may have mentioned some of the dramas I am watching, but I have now just clicked play on them. So that being said, I am not far into any of these dramas, maybe 3 episodes on some. So just FYI, I am not that far in anything I'm watching. I kind of click play on a series of a lot of things to make sure they're on my watch list. So I have stuff to talk about. So I have not dived deep into any of these. So that being said, we have a wide variety of things on my watch list, and I'm planning to add more next week between at least 2 other K-dramas and a reality show. So that will be fun. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go down my list. There is a blog post for this that is out now, so you can go and check that out. Kind of use it as notes for this podcast. I know I do when I record these. I'm going to introduce them in terms of like a short synopsis and some cast of all the dramas I talk about, and then I'm going to say why I'm watching this or if I'm enjoying it or whatever, my initial thoughts of them, kind of like my first impression really. And then at the very end, I'm going to talk about things that I plan on starting once I get some of these off my watch list, or just starting in general because I have to watch them for other podcast episodes or things like that. So that will be kind of like the format of this episode. So sit back, get some coffee. I know I'm drinking coffee because it's like 9 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording this. And yeah, we're going to talk about dramas. I'm so excited to do another watch list episode. I love doing these episodes. As you guys know, the order we usually go in terms of these episodes is K-dramas. And then if I'm watching any variety shows, Korean variety shows, then it's C-dramas. Same thing, C variety shows, J-dramas, anime, J variety shows, Taiwanese dramas, and then Thai dramas at the very end. So that's really the order I kind of decided to always have these watch lists. So we're going to dive deep into the K-dramas first. I'm only watching one K-drama right now. As I said, I plan to start at least 2 more this next week. So we'll definitely have more added to the list later. And the one I am watching currently is Pachinko Season 2. Yes, you can kind of argue with me that it's not a K-drama. I get that. MDL has a thing for it. It has Korean actors in it, so I'm just going to say it's a K-drama. But I agree and disagree with that statement. I don't really have an opinion. So I watched Season 1, and it was my top show of that year, or at least one of my top shows of that year. That was 2022. So I was very excited to watch Season 2, and I now have started it. I'm 3 episodes in. I am enjoying it very, very much so. So I'm going to go through some of the cast. If you have not watched Season 1, I understand why. It's on Apple TV. Not a lot of people watch Apple TV. I'm not going to be doing any spoilers or anything, but if you have an opportunity to watch this show, watch this show. That's all I'm saying. Like, it is a beautiful show. So the main characters really, at least according to MDL, and I kind of agree, I'm going to butcher these names, some of them at least. We have Yoon Young Jung, who is a fantastic actress. She plays the older version of our main girl. We've seen her in K-dramas all over the place, from Never Twice to King to Hearts, My Husband's Got a Family. She does a lot of daily dramas. but she's all over the place. The producers, Dear My Friends, which is a very popular K-drama from 2016. She's a prolific actress, wonderful actress. She plays the older version of Kim Min-na's character, who is known as Sunja. So Kim Min-na plays the younger version. As we know her from Partners for Justice, School 2017. She'll be in Light Shop later this year. I think she has another drama coming out in 2025. So she's the main actress of this story. Of course, we have Lee Min-ho. He plays Hansu. Who doesn't know this man, honestly? He was in The King Eternal Monarch. He was in Faith. He was in Boys Over Flowers. I mean, he has a drama, I think, coming up. I think it's next year. His astronaut drama is going to be next year. I am a stan of his personally, but that's just me. He's one of my favorites. He was my first K-drama actor, so that's saying a lot. And then we have Jin Ha, who he debuted in Pachinko in terms of, like, he's an American actor. He's South Korean born American actor, so he's done American shows, but in terms of MDL, Pachinko is his first one. I think he was in Hamilton. He's a stage actor as well. So anyway, some of the supporting cast, we have Jung-un Chae, who of course we know from a lot of different K-dramas, King Eternal Monarch, Anna, Return. I think she has one coming out in October, the one about the one starring Kim Tae-ri, about the girl who wants to be a singer, Jungneon. The Star is Born one. She's going to be in that. So she's a supporting actress. We have Anna Sawai, who just won the Emmy for Shogun. Fantastic show. If you have not gone and see it, it's on Hulu. Please watch that show. But she's also in Pachinko season 1 and season 2. She's done a couple of Japanese dramas as well, but she has said in interviews that she was a singer, or she is a singer, was a singer. I think she left the group, but she was a singer for a while in the Japanese group, and the agency that she sang with did not like that she wanted to act. So she has not been in a ton of Japanese dramas as much as she would have liked. And now she has left the group and she can now act a little bit. So yeah, fantastic in Pachinko, fantastic in Shogun. She deserved that Emmy. I love her. I can't wait to see what she does next. We have Hanju Woo, who, again, we've seen all over the place with Happiness, with My Unfamiliar Family. We have Park So-hee, who really is a movie actor, but he's done a couple K-dramas. Pachinko probably is his most memorable one at this point. And then the last two people I'm going to name is Steve No, who, again, we known from various dramas and movies, but I think Pachinko is one of his most famous roles. He was in soundtrack number 2 from last year and Behind Every Star. And then the last actor I'm going to mention, other than, like, there's a couple of child actors as well, but the last actor I'm going to mention is Kim Sung-gu, who you'll know from Kingdom on Netflix, as well as a Piece of Your Mind. And he's also done some movies as well, but I loved him in Kingdom, honestly. So that's really the cast, except for some child actors. We have Kim Kan-hoon, who, I mean, has been in everything. You'll recognize him. Kwon Eun-sung has also been a child actor who's been in everything. You'll recognize him as well. The new addition to the cast, though, this year is Kang Tae-ju. He plays an older version of one of the children. A pretty new actor, but you know him from Missing the Other Side and The Child, the movie from last year. He's a pretty new actor, but he has joined the cast this year as playing an older version of one of the children. Okay, so going to the synopsis of Pachinko Season 2, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but basically Pachinko Season 2 takes place during World War II in Osaka and tells the story of Sunja, who tries to survive World War II and make her family survive World War II, as well as Pachinko is a way of, like, they have generational stories going on. So you have Sunja in World War II time, like 1945. Then you have her as an old woman in like the 1980s. And her grandson, I want to say, Solomon, played by Jinha, his story is happening in the 1980s. And so you have those two storylines going on at the same time in season 2, at least. In season 1, it was an additional storyline happening. So you have two timelines, two storylines, and it's all about family and generations and type of thing. Again, not trying to spoil much. So as I said, I was so excited for season 2. I am so glad I'm finally watching it. I know I was a little tardy to this, so I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I think we're up to episode 5 now, and it's supposed to have 8 episodes in total, and it's on Apple TV. As I said, season 1 in 2022 was one of my top dramas of the year, so I'm going into season 2 with high expectations. So far, it has not disappointed, so I'm very glad about that. I'm not surprised if this will become one of my favorite shows of 2024, honestly. I cried already. I'm not going to say why I cried, and I'm not going to say what episode, but I cried already, like sobbed. So this is not an easy show to watch. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like both season 1 and season 2, it's not easy. You have flawed characters, you have problematic characters. It is not a fairy tale show, which is why I love it. So I made the mistake of like looking at MDL comments on season 2, and they were very, very toxic of people like wanting a happy ending and wanting this fairy tale K-drama fantasy ending. And I'm just like, are we watching the same show? Like that's not what this show is. So I just want to be realistic with people. Like Pachinko is not a fairy tale K-drama. Like you're not going to have, like you'll have romance. Yeah. It's not a happy go lucky romance. Like there's heartache and there's grief and there's anger and there's toxic characters. Like it's realistic to an extent. So just FYI, if you go into this show wanting rainbows and fairy tales, you're not going to get that in this show. Just FYI. It still lives up to the caliber of the cinematography and everything that I expect from season 1. It's a beautiful show so far. I mean, you can just look at the poster that I put on the blog post. It's beautiful. So the fact that this drama covers World War II, I think the stakes are kind of higher in season 2 so far. Again, I have not hit the point in the show where they are in war, like where something happens because of World War II yet. So I'm sure that's going to get intense and crazy. Either way, I'm very excited. I'm watching the show. I have high expectations for season 2. So I really hope it doesn't disappoint. And so far it hasn't. I'm on episode 3, so far it hasn't. All right, so next one I'm going to talk about is a Korean variety show called Road to Kingdom, Ace to Ace. If you guys don't know about this variety show, I think this is the 3rd season of this particular show. I think it's the 2nd season because we had Road to Kingdom, and then now we have Road to Kingdom Ace to Ace. And then we have Kingdom, which is a completely different series. And then we also had Queendom for a while. So basically it brings on existing K-pop groups. They do various performances and various challenges, and then eventually one group wins. So, and it's a boy group survival competition, but they're not surviving to be in a new boy group. They're kind of just surviving to be first place, really. I have watched every season of Road to Kingdom, Queendom, Kingdom. I love this show, so I knew I was going to watch the new season when it started last week. Only 1 episode has aired so far, so I've watched that. I also know all of the groups on the show, so that's a plus for me because that means I can just cheer for anybody and I don't really have to have a favorite because I just enjoy watching them perform in general. Also, a reason why I'm watching this is my alt bias is hosting it. He's emceeing it, Taemin. So the fact that I get to see Taemin on my screen every week is always a plus. So it's done by Mnet. We know Mnet is like, does evil editing all the time. That is a problem. They like the buzz it creates. So we already see there's evil editing in episode 1. And what I mean by that is like they edit the show to make somebody sound mean or make an action seem mean. And that might not be the case. So they already have done that really. Another thing is that I'm kind of angry about is Vicky has not picked this up. So you have to watch it the day of because Mnet like streams it on their YouTube and then keeps the episode up on YouTube for that day only. And they do have subs and whatever, but the subs aren't like the best. They could be worse. They could not have subs at all. So I'm at least happy we have subs, but it took me a little bit to figure out how the subs worked because it was formatted weirdly. I'm worried if I miss a day, I will not be able to watch the episode. So hopefully I can like catch the episode before it disappears on the YouTube channel. Or hopefully Vicky picks this up eventually. I don't know. I'm just here for the performances and the group interactions. I love watching the groups interact between each other. I love the performances. The new rules, there's a couple new rules this season that I'm not really sure how I feel about it because again, it could contribute to like the evil editing that Mnet is known for, but it also could be exciting at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it in terms of like the ace competition because they now have like kind of two competitions going on. Also, the scoring really throws me off. But again, I'm always confused by the scoring on these shows, so that's nothing new for me. I just hope that I enjoy the performances and I enjoy the show. I also hope that like this show introduced these groups to more people, both in Korea as well as internationally, because I know a lot of people are watching this show because in my opinion, a lot of these groups are new. Like they're not really known. Some of them are known, maybe more internationally in Korea. Some are older groups and some are like brand spanking new. So I just hope they all have some like get something out of doing this show and get more recognition or at least more listeners or more interactions, whatever. Because they're all very talented and I just want them to all succeed and be happy. Like that's just me. I'm just like a happy multi-stan over here watching the show. Like I don't vote. Like I'm not that type of person. I just enjoy the performances. I don't really have a bias. Like my bias is Taemin. He's not he's not competing. So I hope we get a solo performance from him at some point. That would be fun. But yeah. So I'm just over here enjoying my time and enjoying the performances. I know I'll probably be sad at some point because there's evil editing going on, so we'll just have to go as it is. But yeah, so you have I think it's 7 groups, all boy groups. Kingdom is boy group, Queendom is girl group. They haven't done a Queendom in a while. I wish they did. I wish they did a road to Queendom, honestly. So yeah, I'm watching that Korean variety show. It's on YouTube. You can watch it on Mnet's channel the day it comes out. So you have to plan that schedule out, really. I am, for one, do not sail the high seas at all to watch something. So if I miss an episode, I might drop this. I don't know. I haven't decided yet what happens if I miss an episode. So we'll have to see what happens. This is, I think it's 8 episodes. Yeah, it's 8 episodes. Again, it's showing on YouTube/Mnet. It's just this is going to be intense. Also, the ace to ace thing is just going to have a lot of burden on that one member. Pretty much like one person is going to be competing to have that ace title. I just don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I don't know. It's odd to me. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how I feel about that yet. But anyway, I'm here just for the performances and to see them interact, really. I don't vote. That's it. I enjoy this type of stuff. So that's Road to Kingdom. I started that last week. I have only watched 1 episode. So now we're moving on to the Chinese dramas. I'm watching 2 currently. I took the opportunity of an empty current watch list to like get some season 2s and season 3s out of the way that I should have watched earlier this year. So the first one I'm watching is Detective Chinatown season 2. I rewatched season 1 earlier this year to watch season 2. And yet here I am just watching season 2 now. Why did I not click on play on season 2 right when I finished season 1? I don't know. So season 1 aired in 2020. And as I said, I rewatched it. I'm on episode 5 of this show. I think there's 16 episodes in total. Yeah, there's 16 episodes in total. So Detective Chinatown is a really popular movie franchise in China. And because it's popular, they've done these like spin-off C-dramas. And this is season 2 of it. So for me, I have not watched a single one of the movies because they haven't really been accessible internationally. The dramas have been. I don't know currently, like back in 2020, I could not find any of the Detective Chinatown movies. I have not tried looking in 2024. But a lot of the characters that show up in these dramas are either people who are like guest roles or like supporting roles in the movies. And then they'll have the main characters of the movies kind of show up in the drama versions and kind of just do like a couple scenes here and there. So you'll understand what's going on with these Chinese dramas, like within them without watching the movie, but you might not like know the character connections. For me personally, you don't really need to. I mean, you still understand the case, you still understand the relationships that's going on in the Chinese drama with like the more stable characters that are there the entire drama instead of just like a guest role. But if you like, I guess there's apparently there's like a certain way to watch this. You watch like movie 1 and 2, you watch season 1 of Chinatown, of Detective Chinatown, the drama, then you watch like the third movie, and then you watch season 2 of this. I don't really know. There's like a specific order if you really want to understand everything. In my personal opinion, you don't really need to watch the movies to understand what's going on, but if you want to do that and you can find them, go for it. So in season 2, we have Roy Chu, who's back from season 1. He's our main detective guy. He is a Taiwanese actor. You might know him from a lot of Taiwanese dramas, actually. He's pretty much P.S. I Love You, Office Girls, The Family, which is a really famous one. Yeah. So he's our main detective guy. And then another main role, Kiko. Okay, so she has a guest role in season 1 and she has a more major role in season 2. Yeah. She does not look like this picture. Anyway, you might know her from My Heroic Husband from 2021. She's a movie actress. She's been in, obviously, Detective Chinatown movies. She also was in Sweet Trouble and Mystery of the Night from this year. You might recognize some other actors like Baby Zhang. She was in Under the Skin. She was in She and Her Perfect Husband, Murderous Affair in Horizon Tower. You have Rong Zishan, who was in The Bad Kids, one of the child actors from The Bad Kids. You have Cheryl Yang. Oh, what was that one from Women in Taipei, Light the Night? Like, she's pretty prolific. I mean, this cast is big. Like, you have a lot of big actors and actresses, and a lot of them come in as support roles or guest roles. So you'll recognize people, but the main 2 people really are Roy Chu and apparently Shang Yu Sang in season 2. In season 1, she was a guest role, but Ansi Deng is in here, like a lot of guest roles. So how this is structured is you have like, it's 16 episodes long. Every case is like 3 to 4 episodes long. So in season 1, you had 12 episodes, and so it was 3 cases every 4 episodes, 1 case, 4 episodes, 1 case, 4 episodes, 1 case. So it seems like in season 2 it'll be an additional case, so like 4 extra episodes pretty much. So I am through all of the first case. So we have 3 more cases to go. Apparently, according to the synopsis, a series of bizarre cases have reemerged overseas. Lin Mo, who is played by Roy Chu, team up with our hacker Kiko, played by Shang Yu Shen, and other detectives and characters to solve these cases. And what's interesting about this is this doesn't all take place in China. Some of the cases go in other places, like Thailand, for example. So that's an interesting thing about this show too, is like it doesn't all take place in China. So yeah, you'll recognize some of these actors. If you've seen the movies, you'll definitely recognize the characters because they come from all over. There's even characters from season 1 that show up in season 2. I mean, so I recognize some of them. I don't recognize all of them. There are some new characters in season 2 that weren't in season 1 that are clearly from the new movie. I did not know who they were. I love the OST from this drama. I forgot how much I loved it until I watched season 2, so that's always nice to find a new OST, but yeah, that's Detective Chinatown season 2. I'm about a quarter of a way through. I'll probably finish it in like the next week or so. It's a quick watch. Another one that I kind of clicked play again on episode 1 because it was like on my watch list before I cleared it out. I put it on the back burner to like really clear out my watch list, and that was Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty season 1. So I kind of like restarted it so I can like watch it and really watch it and then actually watch season 2. So I've only watched the first couple episodes. Again, I rewatched episode 1 and now I've watched episode 2 and 3, I think. Again, should have finished this a long time ago, especially with season 2 already out. And I think there's a rumor that season 3 is happening too at some point. I don't know. So I plan to, unlike Detective Chinatown, I do plan to click play on season 2 right away and not wait 4 months to do so. So far, I love the dynamic of the two leads in this drama. The two leads of this drama are played by, we have Yang Shu Wen, who plays Lu Li Feng, and you might know him from Eternal Brotherhood from this year, Love and Time from 2022, Noble Aspirations from way back in the day, 2016. Kind of like he has a lot of dramas in the pipeline, like a lot more than I thought there would be, but he's kind of like become more well known in the past couple years. And then the other main character who plays so he plays a bodyguard, the not a bodyguard. Yang Shu Wen plays like a capital royal guard, and then you have Jiang Zigang who plays like the sheriff of the town, like the cop of the town. And again, Yang Zigang he's been everywhere. Like you would recognize him for sure. He was in Ferryman. He was in The Fearless. He was in Heroes, A Perfect Village. Like you would definitely recognize him. So it's a typical like bromance cop show in historical China. He's a cop. The other one's a palace guard, and they go and solve these really weird cases that show up in this city that they're both living in. And then you have a bunch of supporting actors and actresses that come in. But they're the main two people. Pretty much the premise of at least season 1 is they are in Chang'an. As I said, one's a palace guard, one's a sheriff. There is a mysterious herb called the black tea has started popping up in the town or in the city. No one really knows like if it's actually good for you or not. Like there's not like conclusive evidence that this is really bad and is causing these weird cases happening, or if it's good and like something else is causing the cases. So you have a bunch of weird cases going on, and these two people basically investigate them. And at first they hate each other and they don't get along. And then obviously eventually they do. So that's pretty much the setup for the drama. Pretty much a setup I should have watched a really long time ago, really. It's like one of those dramas where like, Caitlin, it is made for you. You should have clicked play on this like back in 2022 when season 1 popped up. Like, it's one of those things. I love how spooky this drama is. It's not scary, but it's spooky. It has like, you don't really know if there's a supernatural thing going on yet or not. I'm a sucker for historical mystery dramas, so this one is just right up my alley. You have an enemies to friends trope with the bromance thing. It was built for me. I should have watched this a long time ago. One of the leads is a little more eccentric than the other, which is the cop. He's a little more eccentric, but both are quite smart and work well together. So it's like the trope of like brawn paired with brain type thing. Like the palace guard is definitely not as smart as the cop, but he still could hold his own. He investigates his own thing. He's really smart, but like it's really the brain matched with the brawn type thing. You could also see there's like a mystery behind Palace Guard that is kind of brewing and will probably be one of the story arcs in the show. So I'm really looking forward to finding out more about his background. I'm also looking forward to the cases and how crazy and supernatural it can be. Like Ichi does this type of story very well. So I really just enjoying this show for what I've seen so far, which is like the first 3 or 4 episodes. So that is Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty Season 1. I hope to watch Season 2 soon. All right, so next up, we're going to the Japanese dramas. The first one, Perfect Propose, that's the English title for it. I actually finished this drama last night. When I wrote this, I still had a couple episodes to go, so I'm still gonna talk about it, even though I literally finished it last night because it's a quick drama, but I'm still gonna talk about it because who knows, people might not have learned about this. Okay, so Perfect Propose is a Japanese drama. It's 6 episodes. It aired earlier this year. You can watch it on Viki. The 2 leads in this is Kaneko Shunya, who this is my first drama I've ever seen him in, so I don't know what else he's done, and all of the titles are obviously in Japanese. So like on MDL, so I don't know like what one to like pick out and say like, oh, he's been in this. But yeah, so this is his first one I've seen him do. He was in another drama from this year called Haru ni Natara. There was another drama from 2023 called Humaru Otoko ni Shiritai Ona. Sorry if I'm butchering it. He really has just done a lot of guest and support roles. This is really his first main role, so that's good. It's good for him. And then the other main guy is Nomuro Kota. Again, he's done a lot of support and guest roles. This was his first main role as well. You might know him from Shut Up from last year. Silent. He did a guest role in Silent. He wasn't there as like supporting or anything. So you might recognize him from Silent. So that's really our main 2 leads. And then everybody else is the supporting cast. And basically what this story is Kaneko Shunya plays Hiro. His full name is Hirokuni Watari, but Hiro, they call him Hiro in the show. He has a very stressful job and is like can barely sleep, doesn't have proper meals, like doesn't eat very well. And so he one day passes out on the sidewalk walking home, and Nomuro Kota's character Kai walks up on him, and they realize like they knew each other as children, and he walks into Hiro's life and is like, hey, we promised to marry each other when we were older and I would like to marry you now. And so they start like it's a cohabitation drama, and Kai starts cooking for Hiro, and Hiro starts trying to figure out his life and trying to figure out his job, and they kind of figure out life together. And it's 6 episodes. It's 24 minutes long each. It's really short. So yeah, if you're looking for a quick Japanese drama, especially about food, like this one has a lot of fantastic food. This one's short and sweet. I can't recommend it enough. Again, when I wrote this, I had 2 more episodes to go and I finished it last night. I love Japanese BL dramas. I can't get enough of them. I wish I watched more of them. With the 2 leads, I like their dynamic. They were both like helping each other out, dealing with certain things in their lives. Like we had Hiro, who just was so stressed out from his job and really, I think, also kind of lonely. He came home to an empty apartment. It was like work, and that was it. That was his life. And so to have Kai come in and kind of be that comforting presence in his apartment and in his life did wonders for him. And then he also made Kai feel wanted, because apparently Kai, from a very young age, just didn't feel wanted, didn't feel supported with anybody in his life until he met Hiro. So I liked their relationship and how they changed their lives. It's an older male, younger male relationship. So this one's just cute. It's sweet. It's not really filled with a lot of angst. You get some food shots. I do wish there were more food shots, but that's saying so. If you just need something quick and easy to watch, highly recommend Perfect Propose. All right, so the next one is Alice in Borderland Season 1. I am watching that. I clicked play episode 1, and I've only watched episode 1 so far. This is a rewatch for me. Don't ask me why I'm rewatching this show. The amount of anxiety I had watching this season for the first time, and now I'm rewatching it and I still have that amount of anxiety is saying something. It's ridiculous. The reason why I'm watching this is because I haven't watched season 2, and I watched season 1 back in 2020, and I really want to watch season 2. And so I remember season 1, but I don't remember every single detail. So I wanted to rewatch it before I watched season 2 just to refresh my memory. Also, Daybach has done a review episode on both of these seasons, and I wanted to watch season 2 to listen to the episodes. So shout out to Daybach K Rambles, Jess. I mean, you guys know I do podcast episodes with her all the time, but yeah, her episode made me want to rewatch season 1 and watch season 2 so I could actually listen to the review of that. Also, I'm just going to say this too. In my opinion, and don't come for me, in my opinion, Alice in Borderland is better than Squid Game. So if you have not seen Alice in Borderland and you liked Squid Game, highly recommend Alice in Borderland. In my opinion, it's better. So season 1 came out in 2020. We had season 2, I think, in 2023. Season 3 apparently is rumored for this year, but I doubt it's actually coming this year at this point. It might show up in December. I know 2023. I know season 2, I think it was December for season 2. Yeah. In December, it was 2022 in December that it just came out of nowhere. So maybe we'll get it in December of this year, but I honestly highly doubt it. Yeah. So if you liked Squid Game, give Alice in Borderland a shot. It's different. It's the same, but it's also different. And in my opinion, it's better. Just be aware, Alice in Borderland is dark, it's violent, and anxiety filled. No one is safe. Literally, you will like a character and the next scene they're dead. You won't know who will survive, and it's really unpredictable. So wonderfully acted. The drama even got me to read the manga, which is saying something. I don't read manga usually, and it says a lot if a drama gets me to watch the book or manga it's based off of. So, all right. So if you don't know what Alice in Borderland is, it is a Netflix drama. It has had 2 seasons. Some of the actors you might recognize from. It has a stacked cast, in my opinion. A lot of people work on this show. You have Yamakaze Kento, who plays Arasu. I mean, you might know him from Todome no Kiss. You might know him from Death Note. You might know him from, what is one from this year that he did? Autumn no Ko from 2023. You would recognize him. The main female lead is played by, I'm going to butcher this, Tsuchiya Tao. I actually have not seen her in anything except for Alice in Borderland. So, I know her, but I don't know her. So you might recognize her from, also, if you're hearing the rain in the background, it is pouring outside. You might know her from Keiboho Daimachin. You might know her from Tensu no Hone from 2020. Yeah, I mean, she's been in a ton of stuff. She was in As Long as We Both Shall Live from the My Happy Marriage. She played a supporting role in that. Fantastic in that movie, actually. Other people you might know is Murakami Nijiro. He plays a supporting role in this drama. You might know Machida Keita from Cherry Magic. He plays a supporting role in this. Sakurada Dori, you would recognize. I mean, there's a ton of people in this cast you would recognize if you watch Japanese dramas in any capacity. You would recognize somebody. So it's a large cast, especially season 1. So basically, what is this show about? So without giving much away, you have Yamazaki Kento. He plays Arasu, and he is a jobless, unemployed guy who kind of just hangs around and just is not motivated at all in his life. And he goes to Shibuya in Tokyo one day. They enter a bathroom and they come out of the bathroom and like it's empty. No one is there. Now, if you've ever been to Tokyo, have ever been to Shibuya, if you've ever liked watch videos of it, Shibuya is like right out of this train station. It's like there's a very famous crosswalk section. It's never empty. There's always people there. There's like you cannot find a minute in the day where this place is empty. So the fact that they walked out of this place and there's no one around, that it's completely empty, is kind of weird. And I really always wonder how they shot that because it's empty. So they find themselves in a practically emptied out version of Tokyo where he and other people have to compete in dangerous games to survive. And then they meet other people who are also competing in these games, and they try and figure out like why they're there, what's the point of the games, like navigating and surviving this dangerous game. Why is it called Alice in Borderland? Because there are references to Alice in Wonderland all over the place. Like apparently Arasu is Alice in Japanese, and there's different characters that relate to other characters, and there's different things that go on in the games that relate to that. You also have like a deck of cards play a significant role in this story a lot. So it's interesting to watch this and like pick out those little nuances and little facts about it. So again, don't ask me why I'm rewatching season 1 because it's anxiety filled, and I even know like what's going on or what's coming down the pipeline, and I still am like, oh my god. So that was Alice in Borderland season 1. Again, if you like Squid Game, you have to watch this. It's on Netflix. It's 8 episodes this season. It's amazing. It's anxiety filled, but it's amazing. All right, so that was Alice in Borderland season 1. I do plan to watch season 2 right away. Don't worry. All right, so the next one is an anime that I again should have been watching a long time ago, and that is Apothecary Diaries season 1, especially because season 2 is coming out next year. I mean, I heard, shout out to Teen Soju podcast, Liliana has talked about this anime a lot. A ton of people have talked about this anime. This anime was built for me to like, so I already love it. I've watched 4 episodes. I knew going into this I would love this anime, so it's not surprising at all that I'm liking it. Liliana, I was talking with Liliana the other day, and she told me this tidbit of info. The female lead, when she gets excited, like grows ears and kind of like looks like a cat, and apparently she turns into a cat because her name means cat. So that was just an interesting little tidbit of information that Liliana told me, and I like that. I like those little details. I'm liking the lead characters' dynamic with each other. I love the mysteries we have so far. I'm enjoying the female relationships in this anime. I can kind of tell that like the female lead is gonna have some close friendships with some of the other female characters in the anime, between like the courtesans and the servants and things like that. There is a lot to love about this anime, and I know I'm going to love it a lot, and I even know I can't wait for season 2 at this point. I'm watching this on Crunchyroll. So basically what this is about is it's about Mao Mao, who is apothecary's daughter, and she has grown up like making medicine, testing poison, so she has a huge knowledge of poison and medicine and knows how to make those medicines and poisons. And one day she got kidnapped and sold into the lower levels of the imperial court. So she now lives as a maid in this lower level court full of women, of courtesans and concubines and servant girls and everything. And she hides the fact that she's literate and has this extensive knowledge of medicine because she doesn't want unwanted attention. She doesn't want to stand out. And the first case, she can't help herself. There's a case that comes up where the emperor's children keep dying, when they're babies, and people think it's a curse. And she becomes curious and starts investigating it. And she catches the eye of the male lead, Jinshi, and he kind of singles her out and is like, okay, you're going to help me figure this out because we don't want any more babies dying. So because she starts helping out, she's promoted, and she actually solves this case. She's promoted from a servant girl to a lady in waiting for one of the concubines, and then she starts investigating other cases and making sure that her medicinal knowledge is used for good in terms of taking care of the other concubines and other people within this palace, all while having this relationship with Jinshi. What's funny though is Jinshi is like this beautiful looking anime man, right? And everybody in this female lower level palace is head over heels for him. Like, he just has to look at them and they're like, oh my god, he's so pretty. Mao hates him. She like, they actually like physically show this, but she like cringes every time he's even close to her and like hates the fact that he's around. And so he's baffled by that because that has never happened to him. So he's even more curious about her, which is hilarious. So their relationship is just so much fun to watch. And I can't wait to see it grow more, and I can't wait to see them solve cases more. I have a theory about Jinshi because I feel like he's a little mysterious when it comes to like what his background is. So I'm curious to see if my theory is proven correct by the end of season 1. If it is, like, it might even not even be proven or whatever. So we'll have to see how that goes. But that was the Apothecary Diaries. I love it so far. Okay, so the last thing I am currently watching is Light the Night Season 2. This is a Taiwanese drama. Again, one of those situations where I watched season 1 and I should have just clicked play on season 2 right away, and there's even a season 3, and I didn't. And now it's like 6 months later. I haven't watched it still. So I just was like, okay, you have an empty current watch list. You need to put this on there. Like, you need to get these dramas watched. Like, you watch season 1 for a reason. You need to now watch season 2. So I click play on season 2. Season 2 starts exactly where season 1 ended. So I mean, if I remembered a lot of season 1, so it's not like I'm like, oh my god, I have to rewatch season 1 again. I'm sure in season 2 more secrets will be revealed. I'm sure everybody will be a suspect now that we know who the murder victim was in season 1. So season 1, you at the very beginning, you know someone died, and then you don't know who actually died until the end of season 1. So now in season 2, we know who died, but now we have to figure out like how did she die, who killed her if she was murdered. Like, now we figure out like who has the motive to kill her. There were so many suspects already. I'm really curious how season 2 and then season 3 happens, because if season 2 by the end, this is 8 episodes a season, season 2 by the end, we know like how she died. I don't know what season 3 will be about. But I definitely plan on watching season 3 right after I finish season 2. I still want these two characters to get together, the cop and one of the main female leads. I doubt they will, but their chemistry is just so good, and I really want them to at least have a kiss. Like, oh, they have such great chemistry. But I doubt that will happen because, like, I just doubt that. As I've said in previous podcast episodes, anybody who's anybody in Taiwanese drama land is in this drama, whether it's a supporting lead or a guest role. And I'm sure that's going to be the case again in season 2 because there's a lot of guest people coming in. So the main people we have that have really much been in season 1 and has now put into season 2. We have Ruby Lin, we have Tony Yang, both very prominent Taiwanese actors. Like, Ruby Lin has been around forever. Like, she was in The Victim's Game, she was in My Dear Boy, she's been acting forever. It's like, she's really well known. Anyway, Tony Yang again has been acting forever, both in Chinese dramas as well as Taiwanese dramas. He was in Chasing the Undercurrent, Spy Game, My Best Friend's Story, The Pursuit of Happiness. Some of the supporting roles you'll recognize. Well, not supporting, they're lead, but they're like prominent lead. You have Xiao Yang. She was in Oh No, Here Comes Trouble. There was The Mirror, My Dear Boy. She was in that as well. Midnight Food Store. Again, really prominent Taiwanese actress. I never remember how to pronounce this guy's name. He's a British Taiwanese guy. He is a Taiwanese actor. His name is really difficult. I want to say it's Ridian Vaughn. I could be wrong. But anyway, he's a Taiwanese British actor. You will recognize him from Let's Talk About Chu, Women in Taipei, Dear Diary, Bureau of Transformer. Again, he's been around the block. Derek Cheng, he's a Taiwanese actor as well. My Dear Boy, The Man from the Future. You have Puff Ko in this. She's a prominent Taiwanese actress. Shards of Her. One of my favorite Taiwanese dramas, Before We Married, Just You. Like, so many good actors and actresses. I could go on. But anyway, really prominent cast again. Season 1, we know somebody died. We had to figure out who, so we went back in time and got to know everybody who could be the potential victim, and then we found out the victim at the end. Season 2 is going to be, okay, we know the victim, but now who had the motivation to possibly kill this victim if they were murdered and that type of thing. I don't know what season 3 is going to be, but basically they're just trying to identify who killed the victim if she was murdered, or if the victim was not murdered, how did the victim die? That's basically going to be season 2. Again, 8 episodes. And that's pretty much it for Light the Night. So that is my current watch list. I definitely plan to add to it even in the next week, because there's multiple dramas next week that are starting that I want to add. I'm only watching one currently airing show, which is Pachinko. So all the other ones have been completed already. So some of the dramas that I do plan to add to my current watch list, we have The Judge from Hell. If it comes to Hulu next week, it premiered yesterday on the 21st. Supposedly, it's supposed to come to Hulu in the US on the 26th. So if it does, I will be clicking play on that. The Culinary Class Wars, the chef show that just aired on Netflix this past week, I definitely am clicking play on that because I love a good chef show. This needs no introduction. What Comes After Love is premiering next week. I'm definitely clicking play on that. That only has 6 episodes. It will be on Viki. Iron Family is the new weekender that's starting next week that I definitely am clicking play on. I've talked about it multiple times before. That has my boy in it. If you don't know my boy, I'll look up quickly. Iron Family cast. But this is a 36 episode weekender, so this will be on my watch list for a while. But it's the one that stars Kim Jong-hoon, which is my boy, and Gum Se-ruk, and then I want to say the second lead couple will be Choi Chae-jun and Yang Hae-ji, but it could also be Lee Sung-yul and Yang Hae-ji. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so that's the new weekender, Iron Family, that's starting in a week from yesterday. I also have to start watching The Double for a podcast episode, so I plan on watching that. And then once I get some of the season 2s off my current watch list, I plan to start The Spiral Realm, which I know I've been saying I'll start in forever. Love of Nirvana I plan on watching because I love Alan Wren. Once I finish Apothecary Diaries, I want to watch Delicious Dungeon, which is an anime on Netflix. And then Judge D's Mystery Season 1. I do plan to start that because there is a Season 2 planned. I don't know when that's coming out, but as I said, I love historical crime dramas, and this one stars one of my favorite actors, so I have to watch it. It's on Netflix. So we'll have to see when season 2 airs. I don't know if it's going to air this year or next year, but I don't know. So that is my completely new current watch list and what I plan to start in the near future. Hopefully I can move stuff along and catch up on some dramas that I had skipped in the last month and a half. I kind of decided, guys, that I'm just specifically Korean dramas. I can't do rom-coms for Korean dramas anymore. Just none of them really appeal to me. So I feel like the rom-coms, I mean, I have already was really, really picky when it comes to romance dramas in general, and I've really tried with some of the rom-coms and they just have not worked. Especially, I think the comedy is what doesn't work for me. The romance is fine. The chemistry is fine. The comedy is just not what works for me. So I think I've decided if it's a rom-com, I'm just not going to be able to watch it. I can watch melodramas. I love melodramas. Like What Comes After Love, I totally would like that. Which is ironic because I don't really like angst a lot, but for some reason the melodramas work for me. So I'm just like, if you're hoping that I'm going to watch some of the recent rom-coms, I'm probably going to have to disappoint you because I don't. I know I said I was excited for No Gain, No Love or whatever that one was. Yeah, No Gain, No Love. I like the leads. I was excited for it, but then like because I had to skip it because I wanted to do get my watch list to be empty, the more I saw social media about it, the more I'm like, oh, this isn't for me. Like, I know I will not be able to watch this because the comedy I already know is just not something that would vibe and I would end up dropping it. So I think, yeah. But I think I have a good mix of dramas and genres and countries on the list currently, and I have a lot that are coming to my plate that I think will be appeal to a lot of people. I hope I can finish some more dramas before the end of September because right now I've only finished 2, which is pitiful for me. So yeah, that is my completed currently watching list. This is the end of the episode. What have you completed recently? What are you currently watching and enjoying? What do you want me to watch? And especially like, this is the other thing too. It's like I'm a crime drama person, so I will always be watching crime dramas. And I think you're just gonna be getting a lot of melodramas and crime dramas on this podcast at this point. That's pretty much what I'm gonna be doing, which I guess is good. So we have a lot planned for next year already and the end of the year. So yeah, so that's the end of another episode. I hope you enjoyed this current watch list. I hope something caught your attention. I'm excited to see what I pick up next or what I finish. Hopefully I can finish some things in the next week. But thank you for listening. Yes, we finally got another watch list episode out. I'm so excited that we're back after a month of not doing it. I missed it so much. There's so many tangents in this episode, but anyway, thank you for listening for another episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast. Bye! If you want to continue the conversations about dramas that were started in this episode, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter under the username NoSleep4Dramas. That is no sleep, the number 4, dramas, just like in the title of the podcast. This podcast is also an expansion of my blog, so you can visit my blog at www.NoSleep4Dramas.com, the number 4 dramas.com, and find multiple years of blog posts already available at your fingertips. All links are in the description of this episode. This has been an episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, and I am your host, Caitlin. I will see you here next time, and I hope you get no sleep chasing the next episode just like me. Good night.